Hello and welcome to a grey and windy Sydney Harbour for the final race of this season for the 18-footers. It's windy and it's rainy, it's grey. I'm Peter Shipway, and along with Andrew Buckland and Warwick Rookland, we're here for the last day of sailing for this current season. It's the final day of the club championship, and the positions are pretty much assured of, we know the placings, but nonetheless we've got plenty of wind and a good fleet, and we might just talk to say good afternoon to Andrew to give us an overview of the weather and more specifically the rain. Andrew?
It's just Scotch mist compared to what we had in the Giltmans, Pete, but it's been just rain squalls and stuff all week, and this persistent easterly flow that's affected the east coast of Australia for the last several weeks continues, driven today by big high pressure cell in the central Tasman Sea, 1,030 hec high, which is pretty solid, and so gradient nor'easter around 050 compass wind, probably about 18 knots in the gusts, and perhaps down to 12 in parts of the harbour where the course is. The tide ebb, fairly weak ebb, but a fair bit of fresh water from the rain, so that will be a factor. Probably current speeds of about 1 knot, and the committee has set the full lap windward leeward course, being not quite comfortable with a nor'easterly course for today, with the wind a fair way to the right of the traditional nor'east direction.
Okay, thanks Andrew. And Warwick, we're in sequence, I think. All skiffs with their little rigs in, and just a quick overview of the course. We're here in Taylor Bay at the start, and just talk us where they'll go upwind.
Yeah, I haven't seen the back of the committee boat yet, shippers, but basically they usually set about a 1.2 mile beat. That'll be up towards Watson's Bay, and as Andrew just said, be a 4-lapper. So I don't see any gates down at the bottom here yet, but normally they'll have a gate where they have the option of going around either one of 2 marks. So we'll just see what that does. If it's 1 mark, it'll be taken on port, around to port. A few changes, Pete, in the lineup, given it's the last day, a few people having a bit of time off and other commitments. So Noakes Youth's not out here today. But Ash is steering the SMEG, which would be a good experience for him. Noakes Sailing isn't here. AOL, 1 minute. AOL's not out, but Tommy Anderson is in the bow of Thurlow.
And we've got a change on Cooper's Rag and Famish. They've got John Harris visiting out from America. He, of course, is former JJ Giltman winner. He's steering the Cooper's Rag and Famish with his brother Peter on board today. So we're getting close to a start here.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go, Pete. Yep. Breeze is quite shifty, Andrew.
Yeah, no, and the windward mark should be straight up towards the pub at Watson's Bay, Pete. How appropriate.
Okay, under 20 to go. Generous line, but I can see compass setting up for a port hand start at the port end. Line it's actually very biased to the port, and the guys are at the boat have actually got hammered.
Yeah, breeze shifted left in the last 15 seconds.
Okay, we've got a individual,
which is the boat which is coming down to the line on port, probably. Yeah, is it?
I'd say so. We haven't got official confirmation yet. Thurlow tacks over.
So this is the back of the rain squall, guys. We were talking about the rain earlier. It's now lifted off, and so the breeze has gone a fair way left.
Yeah, that was amazing. It went hard left right at the death there, didn't it?
Yep.
But I fear the boat that it's on screen we thought got a good start is actually OCS. So unless they go back, they're going to do a whole lot of sailing for nothing. So a few boats punching in towards the shore, but what have we got on screen?
Okay, I've just got confirmation from the race committee that Lumix Panasonic was over and AOL was over. But I think Lumix went back, but I don't know whether...
AOL?
No, that's what he said, but AOL's not out here, are they? So just have a standby on who was over, but anyway, they're punching away in good breeze now. The sky clearing from rain 15 minutes ago. It's a beautiful summer's day, looking upwind towards North Head, South Head.
Up in Goz Country, Peter, the sun's always
Well, I
shining.
won't go that far, but anyway, it's sun, beautiful sun.
It is.
And beautiful breeze
The cracker.
on the Kitchen Maker.
Yeah, they're fighting out with ASCO on the left-hand side there. All the boats making a dash across the harbour to the eastern shore towards Nielsen Park. And then just out of shot closer to us, we might be able to pick it up, Blake. We've got DeLonghi. Thurlow Fisher Compensation Lawyers actually has a Kitchen Maker main on it, so I don't know, they've obviously broken something in the barrier. Borrowed it. So borrowed a mainsail to get out.
Well, the breeze is way up here now, Andrew. It's 18, 20 at knots, really. And it's more left, as you said. It's gone from about 060 back to about, what, 040, I'd say, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Look
no,
at that.
you're spot on, Pete.
Yeah.
It's very solid here. And you can just see a little evidence of the ebb tide here, Pete, I'd say too, yeah?
Yeah, well, Smeg's going to be first to the Nielsen Park Steel Point shore, so she'll get some good tidal lift on that point.
That Compass, I would say, leads. Smeg's going pretty good, though. He's advanced significantly in the last couple of minutes.
And they've lifted off, what are we on shot there?
Yep.
They've lifted off Thurlow really well as well coming across here. Just seemed to be in better pressure than Thurlow. Thurlow seemed to be on the edge of that.
Yeah, well,
Really good stuff here. Geez, that's got to be good 20.
yeah, sky's cleared, it's really fresh, but we'll see Smeg still on port tack, and shortly we will see Thurlow come across. He's the JJ Gilton champion. There he goes there. So he's quite a way back. He's behind DeLonghi, Thurlow Compensation, Kitchen Maker. He's well back at the moment, Thurlow Fisher.
Watch this space, Pete.
Yep, watch this space. Then out in the middle, ASCO and the Kitchen Maker making good progress as they're standing in towards Nielsen. There's Thurlow.
So was it looked to me a bit like Smeg was the first guy to get to the proper current and just came around their bows?
Well, also too, I think, Bucko, I'm sort of multitasking here, but it seemed to me that Smeg were on the edge of the pressure where Thurlow weren't quite there.
Yeah.
But clearly the guys that started at the port end of the starting line have got a big advantage, and ASCO, Kitchen Maker, Compass, I mean, they gave away, the guys starting the boat gave away an enormous amount of ground straight from the get-go.
Yeah.
But it's a long race, it's four laps, and going to be some boat handling involved in this, that's for sure.
Pretty short beat though was, I think.
Yeah, I didn't quite pick it up. It sort of looked to me like 1.6, which is
No, it
not that short.
doesn't fit in. 1.6 from there.
Yeah, I'm just saying what the committee vote had.
Wow.
Yeah, so plenty of ups and downs out there.
Yeah, that's just after 5 minutes of the start, the fleet are very well split, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
look how far back some of them are just in this short period of time.
Well, I think the line did that, didn't it?
Yeah.
And the line and the breeze bent like 30 degrees in about 1 minute. Right at the line.
It's really back to a traditional northeaster with a clear sky now.
It's still a bit to the right, Pete, I
Yeah,
think.
just a bit.
Well, the Mojo.
Ooh, Mojo, very poor tack. He's recovered. So the three leaders at this stage are Kitchen Maker, Compass Global and ASCO.
Yeah, well, the Kitchen Maker's got Brett Van Munster on it today, so he's got a fair bit more weight than Steve Quigley, so that riding moment will be helping him, that's for sure.
He's close to lead now, the Kitchen Maker, I'd say, was.
Yeah. Interesting that boats are getting quite separated, aren't they? You know,
They sure are.
Like those boats that came from the east earlier, got all the way, nearly all the way back to the western shore, being Thurlow.
Well, the kitchen maker's in front of the Thurlow by about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Now, the eternal hunt for the windward mark was.
Yeah. I think I can spot it.
So that's, yeah.
So that's the kitchen maker. We're just watching. The boats, two boats ahead of him are coming around his bow somewhat, and you can see Compass Global in the middle of screen, and then ASCO left of screen. So they're the three leaders, and you'd have to say that probably the ASCO and Compass Global would be pretty close to crossing the kitchen maker, although he's got starboard tack rights. We're approaching
So it's still a fair way to go to this top mark, and
it's ASCO
pretty healthy
and,
beat.
and Compass Global are doing the best here. Quite choppy water up here now with the tide starting to ebb.
yeah, ASCO now tacks, Compass
Both
tacks
tack-
underneath them.
Yeah, and quite a bit of easterly swell coming in the heads, and enough good breaking waves on the Sound Pigs Reef here earlier.
Okay, so ASCO's the race leader.
Yep.
Compass Global didn't do a great tack. He's second, Kitchen Maker third, and we're still about 300 or 400 metres away from the top mark, which is to the east of Sound Pigs, and halfway between Sound Pigs and Camp Cove Beach, for those that know Sydney Harbour. Big, nasty-looking clouds over the east of
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Macquarie Lighthouse, but further over Manly Way, North Head, it's a clear sky. Back to the action. These are the two leaders.
And Smegs, after starting at the unfavoured end of the line, they've come back to ASCO and Compass and the Kitchen Maker quite well.
Just see the top mark, top of screen, that yellow mark. That's where they're aiming for. So it'll be one tacking in.
So change in the middle for the ASCO appliances. James Doran on the main sheet. Sevi Java not with them today, but they've made a good fist of it.
They still have. They'll be setting up shortly for attack.
And they look like they burned off the Compass pretty easily there.
Here they go. These men coming in now. Through they go. Compass attacks as well. Compass will be about 3 boat lengths behind them, and they're both on the lay for the first mark, the weather mark. A 4-lapper, windward leeward course.
So the Kitchen Maker come into shot in a minute. They're right behind, only 2 boat lengths behind Compass.
And Smeg will be fourth, was.
So it's 15-second lead to ASCO. Nice spinnaker set there. There's Compass Global round, and then coming into the picture shortly, the Kitchen Maker in third place, being skippered by Brett Van Munster today. Smeg will be fourth, and then Fleet will fairly well spread after that.
Yeah, Mojo just not too far behind them. And then we've got a whole gaggle coming in here. Rag and Famish got John Harris on the helm. He's a past world's champion, having a guest appearance after I think 7 years, he said. So he's doing well.
He lives in Chicago these days. You've seen the winter they've had over there?
Yeah.
you need your ice skates for sure. So I'm sure he's enjoying these conditions. But he's in the... he'd be a bit rusty, there's no doubt about that. But the leaders are screaming off downwind as we watch the gaggle of boats approaching the weather mark. They're just hammering down towards the Western Channel Pilot with Asco in front. Next around is Triple M.
This whole lot's having a really good battle, Pete.
Yeah, Triple M, and then
Thurlow.
Yandu got himself back into the picture.
Yeah, Tommy Anderson in the bow today. Trent Barnabas having a weekend off.
And they've got a real snafu on the Triple M.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to come out.
With the line 7 having a bit of trouble bearing away. Yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go. Yeah, just give me a second. Okay. And what do we got? Okay, we got the. It's actually Thurlow Compensation Lawyers around next with the borrowed main. And Ilve. Just get this drone on the deck, and then Thurlow having a compensation, having a problem there. Get this drone on the deck, and then we'll go and chase the leaders.
Some free coaching from the skipper there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bit of yelling.
Encouragement, Pete.
Encouragement.
Well, yeah. Oh.
So that's our first season, so they're just learning the ropes.
Very
They're
much.
certainly sticking at it.
So the leaders, or the whole fleet, are going in towards Chowder Bay, going across to the western shore of Sydney Harbour, and they've most of them dug deep in there, then jibing to come out around the headland and then down to the leeward mark. So trying to get some tidal relief by going into Chowder Bay, I guess. Plenty of breeze, lovely breeze now, 15, 18 knots.
And the ferry coming into play a little bit. I think Rags had to jibe out of there, same with Yandu.
Yeah, these guys might have a bit of trouble with the ferry if it goes down the run. Was it going dead downwind at 16 knot PMG? And that's about the speed of the PMG of the boats.
Yeah. So what you're saying is they're going to end up having potentially have a blocker all the way down the run.
End up overlap the whole way. Yeah. Can't get to the mark. Have to stop.
Of course, the ferry's got right of way, so he's got precedence. But we're on DeLonghi at the moment, just going through the wake of the ferry.
And a little bit of vacuum there as well.
Yeah. And then above him with the black spinnaker is line 7, John O'Witty. All getting a terrific ride down the harbour.
So this will end up really being, a fairly long race. That beat was, I think, probably around the number that I thought I saw on the back of the boat. And to do this 4 times, I'll tell you what, I don't know if we've got it on screen. Yeah, we do. The Triple M is trying to get around the bow of the ferry, going a little bit faster than the ferry and a little bit higher, so they're going to want to get through them. So once again, Sydney Harbour traffic playing a role in the outcome of these racing. But out front, just out of shot at the moment, Compass still leads from Asco.
Yeah, the Triple M, they're just on the edge of what's legally permitted these days. Thurlow jumping out of there.
Well, as you said, Andrew, like Triple M might have an issue when they try and get back.
Yeah. They might wall themselves outside the course.
Yeah, so I dare say a bit of that Thurlow decision was traffic management.
Well,
So just going around the bottom mark for the first time.
Thurlow was 7th at the windward mark, mate. So
Yeah.
So the Compass leads round the leeward mark, and he did a good job there. He's 15 seconds adrift of Asco at the weather mark, so he's punched into the lead with the kitchen maker. See him shortly, he'll be coming around 3rd. And screaming in on starboard jibe is Smeg for 4th place. So there's the kitchen maker just going around in 3rd spot.
Kitchen Maker running wide here, guys.
He's got a problem.
Yeah, the chute's still up the mast. They can't get it down at the moment. That's going to let Smeg come up into third place.
Yeah, they're running away, still running deep with the Spinnaker half up, so maybe it's not in a halyard or...
Well, the other thing too, guys, is that there's a lee shore not far away now. Now Brett dials it up.
Right up the top of the mast.
Yeah.
More trouble than the early explorers there.
Yeah, that's not coming down easily, is it?
Messy.
Yeah, very messy.
Done a good job up till then.
Yeah.
The man in the boat, head down, you can only assume that he's got to do something with the halyard.
I've got a knot in it, and that's where those retrieval systems are so important, aren't they?
And it's coming down now, but he's given away a lot of distance.
So the Thurlow's going to get to the bottom fourth.
Yeah.
And we're going to do fifth of all things.
Yeah.
Except for, Thurlow's clearly fourth there now.
Well, Mojo's in there.
Yeah. But his rounding wasn't too clean either.
No, he's a fair way away.
Triple M, he went to the other mark. He went to the left-hand mark looking downwind.
Right.
So, where's Yandu? There's Cooper's Rag and Famish running away. Still not comfortable on the wind. There he goes, on the wind. Just trying to blow the rust out, I think, Johnny Harris is.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, fine job.
Breeze has softened a little bit down this part of the harbour.
Yeah, it's, we're just affected by the shore. This pretty high little bit of wooded hill here just lifts it off a bit.
So I think we might stick with this battle, boys. It's so just around next to let you know we've got line 7, then it'll be DeLonghi, Ilve, and the rest.
Thurlow Fisher Conversation and Lumix Panasonic trailing the fleet.
So now the Kitchen Maker, we haven't quite got him ashore, we've got Thurlow here. Kitchen Maker's up and operational again. It's got to back with the bunch and they'll try and battle their way out of that. Go and have a look at Johnny Harris, see how his form is after a few years over in the ice and snow.
Okay, we're on Cooper's Rag and Famish. You'll see Kitchen Maker just to leeward of him, and that crossing him now is Thurlow Fisher, who's working themselves into a pretty handy spot, although the leaders, Kitchen Maker, Asco and Smeg, are a fair distance ahead. Yandu's in the mix, he's 4th or 5th, along with Mojo, but we're on Cooper's Rag and Famish at the moment. Standing out mid-harbour, you'd think with the tide going out, they'll probably, you'd think, Andrew, take a pretty long board, wouldn't you, across to Nielsen?
Well, it looks to me like the breeze has got sort of, as we discussed before, normal-ish in direction now. 045 or something like that, 040 perhaps, and a bit normalised. So historically it's paid to get to George's Head at least, but long legs would be cheap. It's quite windy. Bit of where these guys are, Yandu and Mojo, probably thick end of 18 knots of wind.
Yeah.
They're having a great battle, those two. Full drag race up to the eastern shore.
Well, that's where the race leader's heading. He's 300 or 400 metres ahead of them, standing right in towards Nielsen Park, the northern end of the beach.
And a lot of main out on these two, Andrew. You know, like, think back to the Yamaha, there was just lightning fast in the upper range of second rig.
Yeah. Well, the rig that looks most similar to Yamaha is a Rag and Famish, whereas you can see on Yandu in front of us here, the whole setup's a little flatter overall, and you can see that he's giving Mojo a bit of a squeeze.
And there they go.
There they go. Gone.
Can't live there. And Triple M, that I didn't get a proper read on where they were relative to Yandu when they went around the bottom mark.
They were just ahead of them, Warwick.
Right.
As I said, they were the only ones that went to the left-hand mark.
Yeah, they went early.
they went. The rest went round the right-hand mark. Cooper standing into Steel Point.
The water pretty flat, really, isn't it? Not a lot of big power boats out, which always helps.
You know, the rain scared all the spectators away,
Yeah.
and all the sort of white pleasure boats, as we call them. And certainly plenty of lump between the heads, and that tends to keep the fleet away, the spectator type fleet away a bit as well.
Yeah, it's amazing though, isn't it? The sun's, you know, it's bright
Yeah.
sunshine now, and just off the coast and to the south here, it's like the clouds are unbelievable.
Yeah, it looks like it might just be the rotation was a breeze enough in the left that we're no more rain, perhaps. There's a big call.
Yeah, given what we've had the last couple of weeks, you just wouldn't know. So we'll go over and check out the Smeg. We're on them now, and they've jumped away from this group, and they've got ASCO in their sights, but bit of a gap. Out in the front, we've got Compass Global Markets is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, Smeg's a clear third, remembering that skippered by Ash Rookland today in place of Lee Napton, and they've done a pretty nice job. Standing out from on starboard tack, out from Nielsen Park. Very shortly we'll see in the distance going across on port is ASCO, who's in second place.
Yeah. It's very puffy up in this Watsons Bay area. The area we all grew up in, shippers, sailing sabos.
Indeed.
Yeah, Smeg's been headed as they come out further.
Look at the right hand, look at the right hand up there.
Yeah,
At,
ASCO's gone, yeah.
ASCO, wow, he's got some 070, like 20 degrees right.
Yeah. It's amazing the differences. I think he's starting to, he's still up, just talking about ASCO. But yeah, big angle changes.
That was just one that probably just fed through the low point of the hill. It wasn't far, but
Yeah.
it was pretty solid. So the compass leads pretty easily.
Yeah, well, they got the start. They started on port, at the port end. Weren't one of the OCS boats, so they were clear, and they've just had a big lead right from the get-go, and seems to me maybe extended a little bit as well.
We'll be able to tell here whether Thurlow's able to make any decent impression here.
Well, that's the race leader. He's 200 or so metres from the weather mark the second time.
And I think this time, guys, we'll go down with the leading, do the run with the leading pack and see how they perform.
Yeah, there's plenty of breeze. It'll be a very spectacular run this time. He's got another 50 or so metres to go before he's on the low line. Standing in towards Camp Cove. ASCO clear second.
Yeah, ASCO's out of shot. ASCO's tacked, and they're coming back with Compass.
Right, there goes the Compass Global.
Compass probably a bit overstood it was.
Easy lay line, you'd say. Easy, yeah. Very easy.
One of yours, Pete.
No, I'd be tighter than that.
Where's Lindsay May?
Yeah. And he's going to go round well ahead. Warwick's going to get the clock running. It's going to be a good 30 seconds here, I'd say at least. He's around, on his way.
Nice bear away.
Second downwind leg. Let's go just tacked on the starboard tack lay line.
The lead's not that big actually, Pete.
That's it.
ASCO has done the last little bit pretty neatly, in fact, and their tacking's been pretty good. You know, new man in the middle often wrecks that a bit, but James Doran obviously up to the job.
Okay,
Yeah, well, James has done a lot of miles with Marcus
Yeah, no, they're
in the ASCO.
thicker than thieves, aren't they?
Mm. Yeah, he did a couple. I think he might have done 3 seasons with him.
Yep.
And with Geronimo as well. So that team actually has sailed together a fair bit.
I'll tell you who's motored up a bit is the Cooper 62.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing well, isn't he? Blowing
Yeah.
the rust out.
Well, he's doing well, and also, I mean, the guys have a great amount of belief in that rig setup, which, like I said, a little deeper and a bit more twisted than a fair bit of the fleet. So Thurlow, tacking on a skinny one down there. So that's what's on screen.
Yeah, it's getting split up, isn't it?
Yeah. And Coopers has to duck Thurlow, so that's a good gain, yeah?
Yeah. So he'll make things interesting for Thurlow if Thurlow doesn't lay, which he doesn't look as though he will.
No, he'll get there.
Will he get there?
You can go high and slow into ebb tide. It's all right. But it was fine and finally judged, to be fair. So there's third, fourth.
Yeah, I think we'll go down with those guys. This is the sort of battle here with the kitchen maker.
Okay, Thurlow Fisher just round, tight, and then right on his hammer, Rag and Famish, and then the kitchen maker.
Okay.
Gorgeous day now on the harbour, clear sky,
We'll chase out.
lovely nor'easter, white caps everywhere. The harbour relatively clear of traffic.
We'll chase out.
Let's be polite, Pete. Relatively clear of stick boats, all right?
Correct.
So we're trying to outburn the Thurlow and catch up with our drone that's on Smeg at the moment. And on full noise, and I think we're making a little bit of a gain on the ship. It's doing well.
Been harder, you'll be all right.
You've got to get Bucko out of the centre of the boat.
Trying to undo that. The knot in the halyard still.
I'm getting the knot out of the halyard, exactly.
It's a great shot, overhead shot of Smeg powering into Chowder Bay. Absolutely smoking.
Has Ash sailed the Smeg before once?
No.
So he'll have some interesting comparisons, won't he?
Yeah, well, that was sort of a bit of the discussion at home. He found out that it'll be a good experience and it'll be a takeaway for sure.
Yeah.
Just sail with Ricky and I think Mike and their A graders, so it'll be a good experience for him.
Jiving shortly, I think, as we look at the distance, the two leaders there. Compass Global going in on starboard. He's not on lay line, and Smeg still going down on port behind him.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good shot from the drone. But not in shot, but Thurlow's come on the face of a bit, so he's looks like he's caught the Smeg a little bit.
Yeah.
Cooper's on the same path. Nice bit of angle.
Watching Smeg, he's done a good job down here.
Yep. Thurlow just out of shot has just jibed.
Thurlow just in shot.
In shot. And just behind them, Rags has had a good run so far. So we're just approaching the halfway mark of this race with Compass still in the lead, about to get to the bottom gate.
There's the Compass Global just jibing to go into the turning mark. It looks as there's a choice of turning mark. You can either go to the right-hand mark or left-hand. He's going to the right-hand mark, and he's still got a comfortable lead, just about 2 boat lengths from the mark. On the wind now, all nice and comfortable and neat. And Smeg soon into the shot will come round in second place.
Asco, sorry.
Yeah, Asco's done well. So Asco's actually taken some time out of Compass Global Markets down that run. They've had a very good run and back in to put a bit of heat on Keegan York and the boys.
Yeah, it's a yacht race.
It's going to be a good battle.
For the win here.
Smeg coming in still in third spot.
They've actually extended away from Thurlow in that last sector of that run.
Yeah, interesting here.
Yeah, so it's...
Thurlow looking a bit doubtful about their jibe angle, which they've spent a bit much to get that far, I think.
Still, they're fairly big holes, Bucko, you know. It's like, see, now they're fired up. So when they jibed, what are we on?
Yeah, he's on a screamer and
we're not on them, but yeah, now we're back on them and
can't lay the mark.
Yeah, so that's just a bit of luck of the draw, isn't it? What you got at the time and just anticipating what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Now that, they've had to drop early, and the thing is, we haven't quite got it on screen, but Cooper's had a better lay line and is hanging right in there with Thurlow.
Yeah, so the Thurlow done quite a lot of work there, and then gave it all back in the last 500 yards, didn't they?
Yeah.
So yeah. And the Cooper's not quite ready for the dial up. We've got a knot in the halyard. Who would have thought?
Jeez, Bucko, that's 2 today. I know. What are you doing?
I just have to go back to Sheehan School, won't I, Pete? You'll be right.
They've got a problem there. You can see Spinnaker blowing everywhere. Kitchen maker comes round. Oh dear.
Yeah. Gary Phillips on the sheet on that boat.
Triple M's round, and still Cooper's Rag and Famish have really got a problem just getting their Spinnaker down now. They've given away about 3 or 4 placings there, which was...
It's hard, you know, isn't it? I mean, they've done well. They've slotted 2 new people basically in for today.
Yeah. But Pete, one thing you noticed there, they were all working on the problem. They weren't yelling at each other. It was very calm in the ship.
Well, he's got his brother in the bow, and his brother's a lot bigger than him.
That's right.
And younger.
No, I got it.
Got it.
So what are you saying? Come back and deck him if he's...
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Good 18-footer stuff.
That's right.
But, so we're on the wind for the 3rd time now.
All right.
Yeah, we can just count to 4, can't we, Pete?
That's right.
That's enough left.
Ojo going upwind.
All right.
So, Pete, I don't know when the last time somebody decked somebody was, but it wasn't that long ago.
Oh, really?
No.
So we might go and check out. Here we go. Let's see. Go and see Thurlow.
That's the scene looking upwind. Lovely summer or early autumn afternoon. Nor'easter's in. Rain's gone.
And the harbour's nice and empty.
I haven't seen this empty at all ever.
Oh, well, you know, getting to autumn, and as you said, all the rain, it's definitely going home, and But what it's done is given a nice racetrack for these boys to go and play.
So we're on Thurlow Fisher here, the JJ Giltman champion, the Australian champion. He's throwing down the challenge to Ash Rooklin and the boys on Smeg for third place. And he's still got almost half the race to still go, so he's keep coming and coming, Thurlow. He's never out of this regatta, or any race really.
No, well these guys, you know, just chip away, don't they? You know, they're feeling very confident in their season, and so just see if they can get something back. But that gap to Compass is going to be a tough one to get back today.
Well, guys, it's interesting. This beat, the Compass has gone hard right, whereas the previous beat they went up the middle, basically was.
Right.
So they've watched in envy as Esco hooked up into the right-hander that comes out of Watson's Bay. So we'll see if Compass or Esco gains here. Quite a lot of wind in the middle of the bay,
Yeah.
and the water definitely rougher.
We'll go up and have a look
Up
at
the
that.
middle.
Scott. Geez, there's some grunt in that now.
Yep.
This will be interesting when they get to the top, because Asco goes right back up with Compass. It seems like to me originally that Compass might have extended out a little bit again.
Yeah, it's got that look about it.
Both boats on coming out to the left.
That's the race leader we're on, Compass. He's about two-thirds the way up the weather beat, almost between the two channel pie lights, eastern and western channel pie lights, for those that know the harbour. The weather mark is up to the east of Sound Pigs. But he's still got a nice lead, doing a good job.
Yeah. So, Pete, just on those scores, we were given the top 5 overall in the club championship to today. Any of these two boats, can they get in river position? So it looks, I think Smeg had it sewn up unless there was a disaster.
Well, the points going into today, remembering that this point score for the club championship is based on all the scratch races. That's the races when they all sail the same course.
Yep.
And you don't discard your worst performance, unlike the JJs. Well, look at this swell here in the harbour.
It's enormous. It's like a 3-foot swell in the middle of the harbour.
Yeah, we're in a very
Fantastic.
shallow point between the two eastern and western channel markers. There's a really big swell rolling in here.
Yeah.
How's your seasickness, Bucko? You all right?
He's got a bit green.
That quiet.
Very quiet.
But anyway, getting back to your question, Warwick. Yes, all the scratch races, all races to count, and going into today's final race, Smeg was a clear leader on 32 points. He couldn't be beaten. Cooper's Rag and Famish second on 58. Yandu third on 60.
Okay, so something could happen there. That's only 2 points in between those two.
Yes, and Thurlow Fisher another 9 points back in fourth. Asco then 74, and then a big gap to line 7. So really a change could take place between second and third perhaps,
Right.
and fourth even.
So Johnny Winning's had a good season. You know?
He has, and he will, I think, win the handicap section, which is associated with the scratch races. He's a clear leader in the club point score. as opposed to the club championship. I think he had a almost insurmountable lead when I was speaking to him in the park today.
Yeah.
And
and third in the Nationals too, Pete.
Indeed.
In the national title.
Hope for us old blokes yet, Warwick.
Yeah, might make a comeback, mate.
Steady, steady.
I just need a heap of Boy Scouts to carry him in the water for me.
Okay, the race leader still remains Compass Global. It's about 50 or 60 metres from the weather mark, which you can see just in the middle left of screen. Asco, we think, is still in second place. He's got another 3 or 4 boat lengths before he goes to tack the leader. Here's Asco coming across. Okay, there he goes. The weather marked the third time, so he's got 2 downwinds and 1 upwind to go to complete the course. And he's round, he's extended on this beat, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, because Asco was only a few boat lengths behind them, weren't they, at the gate last time?
Correct.
Gate.
Yeah, looks like the right side post.
Yeah.
Very big waves in the middle of the harbour we saw there.
That was amazing.
A couple of metre swell, which is unusual to say the least.
Well, you do get surf occasionally in the harbour over at Nilsson Park, but I don't think it's breaking today. But it was just starting to break a couple of weeks ago.
Well, here comes Asco.
So that's 35, 37 seconds. And who's going to be next? It'll be Smeg next, I suppose.
Yeah, Smeg's
Yeah.
up on the Port Tack low line here, and
Furloughs hasn't really challenged him that much up this beat.
Well, I think they've dropped back
Yeah.
away from Asco.
That's the set on Asco.
So
On his way.
Smeg on port tack and Asco on starboard. There's a little bit of banter between the two boats as they went past each other. So we're sort of up to, a minute 20, so this is spread out. I can hear Chits at the back. Gone from switching duty to photography. Hear the motor drive going on the still camera.
Okay, there's Smeg, third place. A clear third.
Yeah, minute 37 behind the leader. So the gaps is...
tell you what, the kitchen makers come back into the flow here.
Yeah, they have.
From having a knot and a halyard at the bottom mark. I did warn you about that, Peter, didn't I? They've nearly caught the Thurlow, so the Thurlow hasn't had a very good beat at all.
Ah.
Interesting.
So Thurlow just round in fourth. Kitchen Maker going behind him will be fifth. And then looks like Yandu.
Well, the kitchen maker has awkward
yeah.
tack.
Oh, not happy there.
Okay.
He's round.
And then we've got the kitchen maker and then Biandu just behind them. So we'll go down with our president, John Winning, and see how they enjoy their ride.
Oh, the Triple M. Nearly tied. Out of shot.
A little sloppy one.
You saw how much that messy halyard on Cooper's Rag and Famish cost them. They were ahead of this group here, and now they're well behind. It's not a game you can make too many mistakes in and get away with it. As Cooper's just trails Triple M around the weather markers. We're on Yandu now. Boats running into Chowder Bay, Clifton Gardens. Breeze still up, not quite as fresh as it was.
No, it has dropped off a bit, hasn't it?
It's still a good breeze, 14, 15 knots, nor'easter.
Yeah, the ECMW model had it softening and rotating a little, which it appears to be obeying, sort of.
Right.
As the day went on, it's just a nice medium range nor'easter really for these
Yes,
guys.
lovely sailing breeze.
These boats are so equal on speed now, aren't they? You know, all the sails have sort of been developed to a high level from all the different sail makers and the spars between three manufacturers, between Southern Sea Tech and CST. All the hulls are the same. It's really hard to get back if you have problems.
Barring incidents, you'd expect that the Coopers will go on to win the race. And they've, except for perhaps a small part of that second beat, they've looked fairly convincing all day, and nobody's got enough speed advantage to just sort of
Just jump away or get back, yeah.
jump up to them.
They've sailed faultlessly today.
So you can tell here, we're on the back of the Yandu, you know, the bow's pointing at the old bottom mark at Double Bay, like the nor'east course bottom mark.
Yeah.
A little bit of extra.
They got a nice little push down after they dive, now going a little bit funky, but there's more breeze coming if I look over my shoulder. Now John Winning just starting to get out in the wing again.
While we're watching Yandu here, way in the distance, we've seen Compass Global go round the leeward mark for the last time to come upwind, and he's clearly ahead of Asco. Meg still third. Thurlow Fisher on the screen now is in fourth spot. Kitchen Maker fifth, and Yandu in sixth.
So we're on Rags, and just behind them out of shot is Triple M. They're having a good little tussle.
Kitchen Maker keeps on keeping on. He extended his lead even further. Compass Global extended even further down the run. Yeah, he's got a very nice lead.
Amazing. When you consider like one lap ago, Asco has got right back to them. Now that they've got a commanding lead over Asco. So it's turned into a beautiful afternoon, boy.
Well, we're just in disbelief, aren't we? It's just rained so much this month, and we were saying earlier that it'd probably be the wettest March on record.
And you might pick it up later, but there's a big ship exiting the harbour.
Oh well, you know, the wharfies get a bit more money for Sunday, I think was.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon.
No, we can't unload that one for
Big
Saturday.
ship though. Should be just approaching the fairway buoy at Bradley's Head. It's a monster. It's going to have plenty of windage. The leaders are clear. They're on their way upwind for the last time.
I think he's a car ship.
Yeah, row.
Yep, so just to recap, we've got Compass Global Markets ahead of Asco, ahead of Smeg, and then Thurlow. So, as we said, Compass has jumped away from Asco, and Smeg has jumped away from Thurlow again.
Yeah. Compass looks like they've got about 120 up their sleeve there, was.
Mm.
And they're looking very comfortable, aren't they?
Yeah. So Thurlow's around, and then next could I think it's going to be the kitchen maker, and then Yandu. So gaps are sort of going up and down a little bit, but the positions aren't changing too much now. So we've got Yandu going to the opposite mark at the gate to kitchen maker. Not much in it. Yandu now goes around. Kitchen maker got there maybe 5 seconds ago. And then a good battle between Rags and Triple M.
And on the Coopers this time, they were very early and very neat with the haggard. How about that?
Exactly. Got it sorted.
Okay, so it's the final beat, and the breeze is down, isn't it?
Yep, down heaps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Big time.
almost half of what it was.
Yeah.
They're very patchy.
Yeah, well, as I said, the model did say it was going to soften, but patchy, and against the headlands, plenty of pressure, but in the middle, and we often do see this, softer in the middle than near the headlands on the edges.
So, line 7 having a moment there just on our bow. Don't know what
Big
happened there.
moment.
Maybe
Big moment.
yeah. I missed the beginning of that. It's strange. But anyway, we'll head up to our race leader, Compass, who herself was a fantastic race today. Got that time of the year where people are starting to work out what they're going to be doing for the next season. A lot of people get tired now and get indecisive. Some move on to other things. But I believe that Keegan's coming back, another crack at it.
Well, the way he sailed today, he certainly should. I mean, he's been terrific.
Yeah. And I think they're getting a new boat, new hull. Well, nothing's confirmed yet, but I think he's sort of at the top of the list.
I think most of the guys are coming back, with the exception of Dave Witt. I think he's hung up his sailing boots for 18-footer sailing anyway.
Yeah. Well, he's got a lot on. I mean, not living in the country, living in Hong Kong and having to run a maxi program, and they've got other things that that program is talking about. I believe Jack McCartney's not coming back because they've got family business of got this super foilers, sort of like a monohull sort of slash trimaran type thing that's on centre foils, and that'll be on 7 Mate next year. So the guys are down in Nowra now getting that sorted, and they'll be starting a testing program very shortly.
When do we see the first boat on the water?
Well, I believe it's this month or next month it'll be out sailing. I'm not certain of that. It's just a bit of scuttlebutt.
Pretty scary prospect was, you know, I came over to do the coverage today with Joe Fury in his, you know, big pursuit boat.
Yeah.
And we came down the harbour once we got into smooth water at 41 knots, and that's the sort of the realm of the downwind speed predicted to the superfoiler.
That's it.
With 3 guys on the wire, the water looks awfully hard to me, you know.
Well, that's interesting. You know, it'll be interesting to see the progression of that. Whether, you know, it'll be stable enough to have the driver, in particular the skipper, helmsman, on the wire, because.
Yeah, you'd imagine it wouldn't take much wriggle, would you? You know.
No, exactly. I mean, I've had a few goes of a moth, and man, you know, you need to put a lot of time in to get used to that. I mean, I remember getting up on the foil and hitting God knows what speed, and a big power boat just in front of me, and I'm thinking, God, what am I going to do here? You know, I felt like bailing out.
Had you read the manual?
No, well, I watched my son do it a bit and thought I'll have a crack at
Can't
this.
be that hard.
Oh, no. I had no illusions.
Is Dave Witt the test pilot for these boats?
Yeah,
I think that's the proposal.
yeah, that's what I've heard.
Anyway, back to our race here today. The final time for this season at the weather mark.
Yeah, it's right. You got a visual on it.
Got a little problem with our monitor here.
So we're just trying to.
We've got Compass Global around for the final time for him on his way.
Wow, and he couldn't get the bear away.
No, couldn't get it. Couldn't get it.
Just got a little C at the wrong time.
Yeah, got it now.
He's
Has he?
Oh no!
He's so
unbelievable.
close.
What did he do there? Did he go? Well, I missed that. I was watching the drone come in, but
Well, he couldn't
So
get the
someone
bear
gone
away,
overboard?
done. No, they were okay.
okay.
The she then had to go to the
Whoa.
leeward wing to prevent other challenges.
And they haven't had a clean set.
No, it's
And
it's
Asco's
scrappy.
coming at them, so nothing's over, is it? Until it's over.
It's all been untidy there.
Yeah, still not sorted.
No.
No.
There they go
now it's
now.
through. Now it's
Just got the spinnaker free as Asco comes in and tacks the mark.
And was coming out of the harbour, and it's not on screen, it's behind Esco here, but this car ferry is exiting the harbour at about 18 knots.
I know, he's powering,
And
isn't he?
he's got a little tsunami coming off
Okay,
the
we're just picking it up
back
now.
quarter. This might make for some interesting viewing.
Yeah.
Why don't we follow Asco down whilst you're
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's going to... Compass Global will have to jibe. Oh, he's done. He's jibed now, yeah.
But they heard you, Pete.
They did. They did.
At least they're listening to you
That's
now.
right. Just to get clear of the ship.
taking them all year to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, you can see why they're leading.
Yeah, last they're listening. So Asco's closed the game up here.
Yeah, there's nothing in this now, in all reality. It's pretty windy still, it's pretty lumpy.
Sneak still third, Furlough Fisher fourth, the rest are way back. And the fight now is between these two.
And
See, what happened there? Or Asco looked like they were going to do a drive, but they hit some bumpy water. And
no, they just wanted to go behind the kitchen maker, I think.
that it?
Yep, I think so. But they'd be looking at the wash.
He's clear, I think, Asco, if he wants to punch in there as he bounces through some waves.
well, Asco will like this, because, you know, if you're having a crack at the lead,
It's an
you want
opportunity.
separation,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, he's going to the right side. He's survived the worst bit of the wash. We haven't, hardly, yet. Fresh bank, here he goes.
The ship's clear,
No.
Asco jives.
Whoa, he's jived.
A bit of rough water, but he's clean.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
great jive, really.
So,
Now this is going to be quite a good finish here.
yes.
Compass Global out in midstream.
Asco, I would judge in the strongest wind here, guys.
I agree, Pete. I mean, Andrew.
The strongest wind, but the roughest water, which we're about to get. Oh.
That's the Western Channel pilot for Asco. Compass Global jibe back on the starboard, and he will be still ahead.
Yeah.
Probably just a bit too much water roughness there, but let's watch the compass. Not in shot, but
See him shortly.
They've closed up though, haven't they?
oh no, and they're launching.
Yeah.
So did we talk about flat water before, Boss?
Yeah, we
yeah.
did. I mean, we put the knockers on ourselves.
There they go.
It's at least to be flat.
So they're halfway down the run. They're both. This is the last leg. They're approaching the finish. This is the finish this time.
Yeah. And really, one poor jibe from Compass, and Asco will be right there.
Snavel him up. So far, so good for Compass.
Yeah. But here's the thing here, guys. Asco will probably go to the ley line, one more jibe only, whereas Compass has definitely got two.
Yeah.
And they're not cost free, and they're easy to lose a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But Asco will be able to probably judge the good angle into the finish from there.
They got out of shot. They got good pressure too, Bucko.
Yep.
So both boats in good pressure.
So we're travelling with Compass Global.
So we're doing 25, and we're just hanging on to.
Absolutely smoking. Here they go. Here they go. Stand by, boys. Jibes on.
Beautiful.
All good. Lovely.
Yeah, nice.
Lovely as the day.
Both on board jibe, and Asco right in mid-harbour.
Yeah.
Compass Global right just off Chowder Bay. There's Asco now.
Yeah, Asco's
jibing.
setting up. Yep.
He's one and in, perhaps, as Andrew said. Compass has definitely got one more to go. Compass is clear ahead.
Asco's only option. No, yeah, there's been no change.
Exactly.
In the conditions, but Asco did the only thing they could realistically do, I think.
So he's smoking
Jeez,
in here
look
now.
at it.
Asco, hang
Yeah.
on. Hold on to your bets.
You
Don't
can-
throw your tickets away.
He's on a screamer in the
Don't
middle.
throw your tickets away. He's bow down on a screamer,
If we can
Asco.
get Blake to pick up Asco, and they're going to both come into shot in the same frame soon. They are flying.
They've got a real ripper there.
Yeah, and as you said, Compass, one more jibe to go. There's nothing in this.
Compass should be able
Compass
to
will
get
be
it.
right. He should be.
Get it done comfortably. But
I
not,
don't, Asco's not on a ley line, I don't think.
yes, he is, Pete. Yeah,
he?
absolutely.
Okay. Oh, this is the finishing mark.
So here they are.
Okay.
There's Compass final jibe. Beautiful.
Lovely work from
Yeah.
the Compass.
Yeah,
It's
nice
close
job.
though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wow,
it is
look at
close.
that. We'll get an
And
exact
this will
mark.
be like a boat length or something in it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So that was good. You know.
Great race. Okay, Compass Global first.
Yeah.
There he goes.
But the margin is
4 seconds.
3 seconds.
yeah,
Fantastic.
3 or 4. Well, that was
Yeah,
a
good
cracker,
race,
wasn't it?
both those
Yeah.
guys. Compass basically had it from the word go. Asco threw down the challenge a couple of times, but just couldn't get there.
And they're thinking about navigating the reef on the
Yeah.
way down to back to Double Bay to the
Yeah.
clubhouse.
Don't run the boat on the bricks at the last day.
And then a long way back to third will be Smeg, Ash Rooklyn, standing in today as skipper. So good job, those guys.
Not that far back actually, Pete. About
No.
a minute 20. A minute 20.
I mean, you look at the distance, it looks
yeah.
a long way, but they're going so fast that they gobble up that distance so quickly. Thurlow Fisher will be fourth. And here comes Smeg, one jibing in. between. So Smeg will be the club champion.
And that was never in doubt. In fact.
The only thing that...
So yeah, minute 20
Yeah.
was.
So that'll be interesting to have a chat to Ash tonight.
yeah.
And
But
see
Look
what
who,
his
look who turns
observations
up
were.
close behind the Thurlow.
Yeah.
Taking a bit out of the Smeg in the last lap.
But that was amazing what Asco did to Compass on that last run.
Okay, there goes Thurlow across.
So, I mean, Shepherd's is amazing, isn't it? The total deficit there to 4th place, a minute 40.
Yes, yeah.
And
Yeah, after how
When you
long?
looked at, when you looked upwind at them coming downwind, there was a huge distance on the water, but nothing in time.
They're just travelling so fast, aren't they?
Yeah. So
You're doing 25s, 26s.
I think Cooper's Rag and Famish will stay in 2nd place
overall.
Yandu will be 3rd. Yandu had to beat him by 3 places, which he won't do. He'll probably be lucky to beat him, I think. So that's the recap. Kitchen Maker coming in next. So Compass Global 1st, Asco 2nd, Smeg 3rd, Thurlow Fisher 4th. 5th will be the Kitchen Maker, I would think. Will he cross Rag here?
Yeah, he
I
looks
think
like
he will,
he's done enough, yeah. And Kitchen and the Rag. Cooper's 62, Rag and Famish 6th. So Pete, just while we've got a little dwell in proceedings here, I think given it's the last race of the year and we obviously looking forward to a new year, and but as all our viewers would know, we've come to the party with some technical advancements this last month or two, and Chits and the boys done a fabulous job keeping us on air. But just from a standpoint of us on the camera cat, I'd like to send a thank you to all the people who've encouraged us,
Yeah.
and also the people who've made suggestions.
Yeah.
And they've come from everywhere, and some of them been mighty handy. And but the guys particularly have encouraged us and said keep at it. And it's been great to have that support and feedback from all around the world.
Yeah, it hasn't been an easy journey, but as I said, a lot of hard work's gone into it, and we've got some exciting new features we are going to test during the winter to try and make this coverage even better for everybody. And the club we're making some announcements in the next couple of months about, revamping different things and, trying to move forward and keep the whole show competitive and modern. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I echo Andrew's comments with people that we haven't heard from in years have contacted us to say how much they've enjoyed the coverage. So just hope more people keep watching it, and we hope we can improve it. As Warwick said, little tickles here and there to give you a better coverage for next year. So watching Triple M come into the finish.
These boys have improved throughout the season.
Yeah, they did spend a bit of time early in the year standing on the riding lever, didn't they? But
Well, that's the rite of passage, isn't it, Andrew? In these things.
yeah, no, that's fair call too.
I mean, when I sailed 12s the first year, man, I spent more time upside down than upright, I think. But you keep plugging away and you get it.
It only takes about 50 capsizes and you go, I don't want any more of those.
We got to work out.
But Chipway, you never tipped over much, did you?
Very rarely.
That's right, very rarely.
Only when the crew let me down.
But that's always the problem.
Never my fault.
Bloody hard to get hired help.
Just keep sacking them, didn't you, Pete?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, until I ran out of crew.
Exactly. Yeah, so,
Okay.
and then we might wrap it up, Peter, and
Yeah, well, as we've said all along, it's been great fun and a great team effort. I mean, Warwick and Andrew and myself, you hear us, but behind the scenes there's a lot of work goes on to keep the pictures coming towards you, and Chits and Blake and Veg have done a fantastic job. Not always in the best of conditions, and but they've done it with a smile and never complaining, so we've enjoyed working with them, and I know you at home have enjoyed watching the pictures they've given to us. So that's it for season 2016-2017 for the 18 footers. The final day of racing was the last heat of the club championship. Was won by Compass Global, followed by Asco and Smeg third, and Smeg ends up as the club champions. So on behalf of Warwick Rooklyn and Andrew Buckland, Peter Shipway saying goodbye for the final time from a sun-drenched Sydney Harbour.